Now, this illustration deals with a wall switch receptacle lighting outlet. In accordance with the exception 1 to 210.70, A is in Apple 1. Notice the receptacle that's below the table there, and you have your table lamp plugged into it. Now, say you took the little length that connected the bottom receptacle to the top, and you broke that length, and you had a circuit that you would use to switch the on and off of the receptacle, but you had a circuit that made the bottom part of the receptacle outlet on the yoke hot all the time in accordance with 210.52. Now, in my opinion, that would be okay. But again, this is an authority having jurisdictions call on their interpretation of the code. But notice the note coming out the gate says wall switch shall not be a dimmer type in this case. As outlined in 406.3E, an exception. And then if you wanted to read in the text and look at the illustration on page 11-6 where the text begins, then we would find that that dimmer in that receptacle would have to be an assembly listed type with a dimmer. We would not want to put a dimmer as a switch to that receptacle because you're not supposed to dim the receptacle. You're supposed to dim the light, not the receptacle. But if it's an assembly listed for such use, then that would be permissible by the NEC. So notice the wall switch, switching a lighting outlet, 210.70A1, which would be the exception 1 applied in this case. 404.2 deals with switches. 404.14 is the loading of switches. And 404.8A deals with the handle and the on position of that switch should be no higher than 6 foot 7 inches. So many times lighting switches are set at 56 inches center, and then they're at a good height for folks. But now this is not including handicapped people in a wheelchair and so forth. Another standard would regulate that type of installation. So our figure 11-8 just deals with wall switch receptacle lighting outlets, which are permissible by the NEC in the exception 1 to 210.70A1 is an Apple.